Hello, this is Gavin Phillips with Layer Cake and Photo Effects. What I'm showing you today are the studiomagic 1 and 2 Photoshop compositing plugins. So with this image I'm adding the stars, and now I'm going to finish it by adding a reflection. The plugins are so easy and intuitive to use, so let's look at the original photo and after we've made a few mouse clicks with studiomagic 2. The plugins come with concise movie tutorials that show you exactly how to use them. Now I'll use studiomagic 1 to quickly cut her out of a background, drag and drop her into another image. I'll use studiomagic 2 to turn the photo into autumn. Erase some of the autumn from the model's face, trees and path. You can increase the autumn by simply clicking a button. If you want to, you could reduce the effect by using the intensity slider. Let's start over and make this a winter scene. Now I'll erase some of the cooling from the model's face. Now let's add some snow. You have several options for adding snow. I'll add a few medium and heavy sets of snow. Now I'll erase some of the snow from her face. Using studiomagic 2, you can change a photo to autumn or winter with a few simple mouse clicks. Now I'll cut this model out from the background. This is considered a tricky cutout because the grey background will be embedded in her hair. Using studiomagic 1 it's very simple. Make a basic selection and then use the pre-selected brush to remove the grey from her hair. She's been removed from the background. Now I'll drag and drop her into a billboard set. As we can see, all of the grey background has been removed from her hair. In this next image, the man was cut out using studiomagic 1. Now I'll add some lightning using studiomagic 2, then reposition it. Now I'll add hyperzap to him, it's a good grunge effect. Then add an overall tint to the image. I'll use the cold steel tint. You have many tints to choose from. Once again, with a couple of clicks, we've transformed the image. Let's look at the importance of shadows. When you cut someone from a photo and put them into another photo, on many occasions you will need to add a shadow, otherwise it looks like they are floating. With studiomagic 1's shadow caster, it's just a couple of clicks. I add a shadow, then use the reference sheet and change the angle of the shadow. Then I simply copy the shadow and apply it to the other model. Now the models are anchored to the ground. Here are two more examples with the ballerinas when I turn the shadows on and off. So moving along from shadows, let's take a look at light rays. Using studiomagic 2, I create a light ray, reposition it and then colorize it to match the lighting. With just a couple of clicks you can make a big difference in your photos. And here's another example of using light rays. The bride was cut out using studiomagic 1. I place her by the window and use one of the window rays in studiomagic 2. Now I simply reposition it and change the opacity. Then paint with light. You have so many creative options when using the plugins. And here's the finished image. As you can see, the plugins are very easy to use and a great time saver. With these football stadium lights I did exactly the same thing. Added light rays with studiomagic 2 and paint with light. Studiomagic works great with high school and college sports. Moving along to this next image, I'll add birds, resize them, then add a rainbow. As you can see, you don't need to be a Photoshop expert to do any of this. Anyone can do it with studiomagic. It's a huge time saver as well. With this photo, I'm going to add some fog using studiomagic's fog brush. It only takes a few seconds. The one-click reflections can be used for all types of images. With model photography, this is a nice wedding photo, but look how you can change it from an okay photo into something truly memorable in a few seconds. Reflections are a great natural effect. Reflections can be used for many types of photos, of course, including car photography, product photography, and many other images. With studiomagic 2, you receive 5 plugins in one. It's the world's only one-click compositing plugin. With studiomagic 1, you receive 3 tools: the cutout, shadow caster, and paint with light. Studiomagic 1 and 2 received an independent 5-star review from Scott Kelby's Photoshop User Magazine. You can read that review from the Studiomagic webpage. Regarding software compatibility, Studiomagic works with Mac and Windows. It works with Photoshop CS5, CS6, and all of CC, CC 2018 and onwards. The plugins do not work with Photoshop Elements or any other software. If you have any questions, please drop us an email or give us a call. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.